Hello, story lovers. Welcome to Folks and Tales, your one-stop channel for stories that inspire and lessons that last. Behind the tall mountains and deep valleys north of the great African forest lies a kingdom called Umuani. Umuani was known for its palm trees and oak trees. The people specialized in palm produce, which was traded among major African countries and to major cities. These palm trees brought sweet palm wine for traditional use and other festive activities. The people of Umuani lived without fear. They had a king who ruled fairly without fear or favor. Their king, Ubani, had a beautiful queen, Ugoma. The gods had blessed them with one child, a female child who was so compassionate and intelligent. Her name was Zara, popularly known as Zara. The love and protection given to Zara was none to be compared. As the only daughter, Zara was monitored all the time. If she ever got hurt, the maidens attached to her would be in great trouble. For this reason, maidens were afraid of being attached to Zara, for Zara loved a simple life of not being guarded all the time. Zara was high in spirit. She loved adventure and wanted to know what the outside world was like. She was always overprotected by the king because she was the heir to the throne of Umuani. One day, Zara was bored and really wished to go out. The urge became stronger, but guards were everywhere. She tried to get the opportunity to feel the life behind the palace, which was a beautiful forest. She imagined how the forest breeze and the air would be, and how the trees would sway back and forth. Zara couldn't hold it any longer. She disguised herself like a maiden and walked past the palace guards. The guards could almost tell that something was wrong with the manner that this maiden dressed, but they ignored their instincts. As lucky as Zara was on her first attempt, she found her way out by sneaking to the back of the palace. Standing behind the palace walls, Zara could see the trees and the forest. She stood for a while and took a deep breath, trying to get the fresh air from the forest. Zara looked left and then right. Seeing no one, she ran hastily into the forest. Then she stopped, staring at the trees and some flowers by the side of the river. She was astonished. After spending some time, she ran back to the palace before her parents started looking for her. Positive changes came into the kingdom because of the need for the palm fruit and the palm kernels, which produced palm oil and kernel oil. King Ubani had a lot of guests to attend to because of the influx of different kings and rulers who wanted to partner with him. While on such matters, he always had his queen next to him as his strength. This gave Zara more opportunity to sneak out of the palace. She went on and on out of the palace until one day, it was different. She felt a kind of power calling her. She was confused because she couldn't place what it was and where the force came from, but she was determined to find out. She went deeper into the forest trying to discover what it was that was drawing her closer. Fear gripped Zara when she realized how deep into the forest she had gone, and so she turned back. On reaching a certain extent, Zara stopped, turned right and started walking like a ghost. Slowly she moved, following the voice of some unknown force drawing her. What Zara could make out of this was whatever it was, it didn't want to hurt her. But then, what did it want from her? She seriously thought so hard. The force dragged her mind closer until she tried to hold herself back and stopped. "Who or what are you?" she asked aloud, her voice so curious. But there was no answer. The silence got Zara frightened. But she tried not to fear as the spirit came closer to her, making her feel its presence the more. "Zara!" the spirit whispered. "I have been watching you." "You know my name?" said Zara. "Who are you and what do you want?" she repeated. "Do not be afraid, for I have come in peace. I need your help, Zara, but you must accept willingly. I cannot force you to help me." "What is it you want me to do? Please go ahead, I'm listening," she inquired. Even though her voice trembled, Zara is very kind and compassionate when it comes to helping others. She's always willing and eager. "My love was stolen from me," the spirit told Zara. "I was tricked and my spirit has been locked out here ever since. I was a prince," he said with a very low tone. "My father ruled over a kingdom much like Umuani, and like you, I attended to my responsibilities to the best of my ability. One day, I met a girl and we fell in love. She was unlike anyone I had ever known. Her spirit was free, wild like the wind, but her love was forbidden. She was a commoner in my kingdom. Our union was forbidden." "What happened?" Zara asked, feeling eager to know more. "She was taken from me," the voice replied, sounding almost silent. "Taken by those who could not understand our love. I was left alone, drowning in grief, and in my despair, I set to seek solution for that which I thought I would find a sorcerer." "A what?" Zara replied, feeling a chill in her spine. "Yes, just as you heard," the voice whispered. "A woman of great power, one who promised to bring back my love back to me with her magic. She warned me that it would cost me a lot, but I was too blinded by grief. I gave her everything I had, and when she had taken it all, I found myself like this. A voice without a body, bound to this forest, doomed to wander here alone." Zara felt tears dash out of her eyes. She could feel the spirit in sorrow pressing down on her heart. "Is there no way to lift the curse?" she asked, her voice soft and sympathetic. "There's one way," the spirit replied. The spirit hesitated as if the words that would come out next were dreading. "Well, perhaps, but it would require a great sacrifice," Something only someone who truly understands loneliness and loss could offer. A part of Zara wanted to help. She felt connected to the spirit but couldn't believe herself wanting to help an unknown spirit. What must I do? She asked, compelling herself. The spirit, doubting that Zara will be willing to do it, became mute for a while. Finally it spoke, its tone calm and weary. There is an old well in the forest, hidden by the side of the oldest tree. At the bottom of the well lies a silver locket, the old remnant of my former life. Bring it to me. It was getting late and Zara's curiosity was aroused. She knew it was not a task for the day, so she vowed to return the next day to find the well, despite the spirit's repeated warnings of the dangers involved. The following morning, just as dawn broke, she slipped away from the palace and ran into the forest. Following the direction given to her by the spirit, she followed the twisted paths until she came upon the oldest tree. By the side of the tree was the mouth of the old well. Swallowing her fear, Zara climbed down into darkness. She could strongly perceive the damp earth. She finally reached the bottom, where she saw the faint reflection of the silver in the dirt. She picked up the locket, even though it still looked beautiful. Part of it was already stained by mud. Gently, she opened it and found a small picture of a woman inside. A beautiful woman with dark and sad eyes. Something about this woman's face was familiar, but Zara couldn't place it. She held it firmly while she climbed up and out of the well. She returned to the open space in the forest with the locket, holding it tightly in her hand. "I have it!" she called out, her voice trembling with anticipation and fear. "The locket! I found it!" The spirit was silent for a moment and then it spoke. "Open it." Zara complied, staring at the face of the woman on the picture. "Who is she?" Zara asked, feeling heavy saliva go down her throat. "She was the love of my life," the voice replied, a deep sadness in its tone. "The one I lost, the one who has haunted me through every moment of endless existence." Zara felt pain in her chest, imagining what the spirit might have passed through. She could only feel the weight of the spirit's sorrow pressing down on her heart, suffocating her with a feeling of pity. She was happy anyway that she fulfilled her promise to the spirit in the forest. For days, Zara found herself drawn back to the open space in the forest, with the locket always resting against her chest. The forest became her sanctuary, a place where she could escape the rigid confines of royal life and connect with this sorrowful spirit who had come to lean more to her than she could have ever imagined. One evening, as the sun set, Zara finally gathered courage to ask the question that had haunted her for so long. "You asked me to bring this locket to you so that you will be free, which I did beyond all odds. But since then, you've been silent. So, what's next? Is there really a way to truly free you?" she asked, and her voice trembling with a mixture of hope and fear. The voice was silent for a long moment before answering. There is one way, but it comes with a price that cannot be undone. What price? She persisted. Her curiosity was mixed with dread. The voice hesitated and then it spoke. To free me, you must give up something precious, something that defines who you are. You must give up a part of your being. Zara's mind raced. The idea of parting with someone so intimate, so essential to her being, filled her with terror. But as she looked at the locket and remembered the sorrowful tale of the spirit, she realized that this was no ordinary bond. She had come to care deeply for the spirit, to feel a love that she had never felt before. And in that moment, she made her choice. I'm willing, she said, her voice steady despite the fear that trembled beneath her words. Then she listened closely. The spirit instructed, its tone shifting from sorrowful to almost hopeful. To complete the ritual, you must recite the same words that the sorcerer used in getting me trapped in this forest. The sorcerer used these words in deceit. But you must repeat those same words in love, trust, and when you speak them in faith, the magic will be released and I will be free. Zara had the feeling of determination. I will do it, she said. Just tell me the words. The voice hesitated as if weighing the gravity of what was to come. Okay, said the spirit. Come closer. The spirit whispered the words into her ear, and the words clicked into Zara's head immediately. Zara repeated the words in her mind. She was about to cross a road from which there was no return. Yet, the thought of freeing the spirit filled her with purpose. Are you ready? The voice asked softly. Zara closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. Yes, I am. As the last rays of sunlight faded behind the trees, she began to say the incantation. Shuria Ubutu Rika Rika Subaria. Her voice steady and clear. Then she ended with, I release you from your bounds, and in doing so, I bind myself too. As the final words left her lips, the locket began to glow. The trees began to wave their branches in unison, and with a great force, Zara felt something within her shift, as if part of her was being pulled away, drifting into the locket. The voice cried out, No, you must hold on! But it was too late. The magic surged, and in that moment, Zara understood the degree of her sacrifice. When she felt part of her soul depart into the locket, binding her to the spirit. Tears streamed down her cheek as she felt a sense of loss, but with it came a kind of peace she couldn't describe. There was silence, and she felt sort of empty, wondering where the spirit had been. She panicked. Did I free you? She called out, her voice echoing in the forest. At first, there was no response, only the sound of the wind. Then she felt a presence. I think it worked, Zara. I feel free. The spirit replied with joy. I am no longer bound to this place. You have given me the gift of freedom once more. Zara's heart swelled with a mix of joy and sorrow. But what of my sacrifice? I feel different. You gave me a part of your being, and that part will always remain with me. In return, I will carry your spirit with me wherever I go. You will never be alone, and I will never forget the love that has brought us together. The spirit promised. As Zara stood there, she felt the depth of her choice. It was a bittersweet victory, knowing that she had freed the spirit, but at the cost of a piece of herself. Yet, there was a comfort in the connection they now shared. Thank you, Zara, the spirit said, filled with profound gratitude. You have not only freed me, but also given me a purpose once again. I will watch over you, and my love will guide you. Tears filled Zara's eyes as she took a deep breath, feeling the cool night air fill her lungs. Will I see you again? She asked, her voice quivering. Whenever you need me, just hum my song, and I will be there with you, the voice assured her. With that, a gentle breeze swept through the open space, and Zara felt a rush of warmth around her. As the last notes faded into the distance, Zara turned to leave, her heart heavy but full. She felt sad but happy, afraid but fulfilled. She knew that while she had lost a part of her, she had also gained something far more precious, a connection that would be with her forever. Returning to the palace, she heard murmuring here and there, guards and maidens whispering, "The princess is back." Zara knew she was away for so long. She smelled trouble from her father's end. "Where is my father?" she asked one of the guards. "My princess, he has been in a meeting with the council of chiefs." Zara was happy. Her father was in a meeting. She quickly went to her chamber to freshen up. Days turned into weeks, and Zara went about her royal duties. The people loved her more than ever. She would often steal away some time in the forest, hoping to hear again the voice, hoping for a sign that her sacrifice had not been in vain. One evening, as she wandered deeper into the woods, she paused to hum the soft melody that had once filled her heart with joy. The forest was quiet, but after a while, she felt a presence nearby, as if the trees were alive. "Zara!" The voice called out. "I am here!" She opened her eyes, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. "I thought I had lost you forever," she breathed, overwhelmed with emotions. "You can never lose me, dear one. Our bond is eternal," the spirit replied, now more vibrant and alive. "I am with you in every moment, guiding you as you adventure." Zara felt the warmth spread through her chest, as if part of her soul was coming alive again. "What will I do without that piece of myself?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Your heart has room for both love and loss. You will find new paths, new passions, and new love," the spirit encouraged her. With each passing day, Zara began to embrace her new reality. She engaged more with her people, listening to their stories and hopes. The pain of her sacrifice transformed into strength as she understood the depth of love and the power of connection. Months later, a grand festival was announced to celebrate the kingdom's prosperity. Zara took on a leading role in the festivities, her heart swelling with pride as she organized wrestling, football, music, dance, and feasting. She felt the presence of the Spirit within her, guiding her steps and filling her with joy. On the night of the festival, as the stars twinkled above, Zara stood before her people. She could feel the energy of the crowd, their hopes and dreams flowing in the air. In the days that followed, Zara continued to hear the Spirit, its presence bound into her daily life. It whispered words of encouragement during moments of doubt and filled her heart with warmth during the quiet nights when loneliness threatened to creep in. After several months, Zara continued to serve her kingdom with love and dedication. Inspired by her own experiences, she established a program to help those who had lost their loved ones. She invited families to share their stories, encouraging them to remember their loved ones and celebrate their lives. One fateful day, while exploring the forest with her guards, she came upon an open space she had never seen before. It was an exquisite place filled with flowers that radiated in the sunlight. The air was thick with magic, and the whispers of the trees seemed to beckon her closer. In the center of the open space stood a magnificent tree. Zara approached it, feeling a pull unexplainable. As she reached out to touch the bark of the tree, the Spirit spoke to her, echoing through the air. I found this sacred place, Zara, a place of love and sacrifice. Here, you can choose to restore what you have lost. Her heart raced. What do you mean? She asked, sensing the weight of the moment. Her guards, watching from a distance, were shocked. They could see her talking, but couldn't see whom she was talking to. Neither could they hear what she was saying. Who is the princess talking to? Asked one of her guards. It seems like she's speaking to herself, replied another. Huh? Is she okay? Another guard asked. They were all surprised and also worried, but they dared not go against her instructions to them. She had asked them to keep a distance and not interfere with her activities in the forest. You can regain the peace of your soul you sacrificed to free me, the Spirit explained. But know that in doing so, you must make a choice. You can either reclaim that part of yourself and send me back to my previous state, or keep our bond as it is, an eternal connection that allows both of us to grow. Zara's mind exploded. The offer was tempting. The idea of becoming whole again was a good one. But as she considered it, she thought of the joy she had found in her connection with the Spirit and the freedom the Spirit had gained. Is it truly possible for me to be whole again? She asked, having a feeling of hope and confusion. Yes, the Spirit replied. But remember, the choice you make will change the course of your life and mine forever. Zara looked at the tree. She felt a swell of emotion within her. She realized that while she could reclaim her lost peace, she would also lose the depth of love and understanding she had gained through sacrifice. "I don't want to lose our bond," she declared, her heart resolute. "I choose to keep what we have. The love we share is more valuable than regaining that piece of my being." As she spoke, the spirit swelled with joy. "You have to think carefully, Zara. Are you sure you want to do this?" "Yes, I do. There's nothing to think further about," said Zara. "You have made the wise choice, Zara. Your heart is pure. Your willingness to help and embrace love over your self-interest is your true strength." With that, the light covered her completely, and she felt a force move through her. The tree glowed brighter, and she knew that her choice had strengthened their bond, bringing their destinies intertwined forever. The king and queen of Umuani were growing old, and it was customary that the king named the successor before he passed on. Zara, being the only child of her parents, was the rightful heir to the throne of Umuani. But she was a female child. According to tradition, if the heir to the throne is a female, she must get married before she can ascend the throne of Umuani to rule as queen and her husband king of Umuani. In addition, it is also customary that the king or queen of Umuani can only get married to someone from a royal family. Zara had already failed in 3 marriage attempts after her encounter with the spirit. Her suitors from neighboring kingdoms adored her elegance and beauty. They also loved her for her intelligence, wisdom, and compassionate heart, but they could not marry her. At every instance, whenever her supposed in-laws visited, they never came back for the marriage rite. They always ended up sending words that they were no longer interested in their marriage. The chief priests of the kingdoms informed them, according to the gods of their land, that Zara was not whole. And because a part of her was missing, she was deemed unfit to be in union with the royal blood. No one understood what was going on but Zara. However, she wouldn't dare to reveal her secrets to anyone, not even her parents. Would Zara finally find a soulmate? Watch out for part 2 of the story. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share this video. Also subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we upload the video. We will be uploading intriguing and captivating stories multiple times per week. You don't want to miss them. Until my next one, peace and love.